On my journey to explore making it in the art world, I discovered a unique character. Fritz's work explored each man's quest to carve out a spot for themselves on an individual level, something I suppose I looked for in making films. The seed paintings, they represented birth, and Fritz argued the birth of everything came from the seed. His New York Times pieces embodied man's quest to be recognized. But, like the very printing press he was emulating, the beauty was less in the individual piece and more in repeating the job over and over, year after year, with minor tweaks. In a way, like humanity. As our friendship grew, I also explored the modern-day art world machine.
You know, there's no real formula for how you make it. It just has a lot to do with luck. It is incredibly competitive because there's just a limited number of exhibition opportunities, grant opportunities. Everyone's applying for the same things. People are trying to get into shows, they're trying to sell their work, and there's just not that many slots. In some cases, it's the artist network and who they have access to that just kind of can open doors that just aren't accessible to an artist that has some talent, some product. The art market is much like other cultural industries. It's based on a star system, and there's really not that big of a difference in talent, for example. It's just, it might be who you know. It's not a system that favors people who don't have connections to society, Trying to achieve some level of success in the art world, it just seems like it's always right there. But it just keeps moving away from you. I think the hardest thing about being an artist is just keeping it going, trying to make new work. I'd like to make it clear that most artists, even if you think they're famous, are still probably struggling. They're maybe teaching full-time, they might have a second job. I mean, for very few artists, they actually don't have to work. Maybe there's 100, 150 artists in New York who can just live off their work that you know of.
Publicity and marketing plays a big part, and I'm certainly, at this point in my career, really wanting that. I always call it, you need the big machine behind you. And the big machine is a gallery that will do publicity and marketing. I've never felt like I've, achieved the goals that I want, or the success that I want. But there are intermediate successes. Sometimes I'll have an intermediate success here in the studio. I'll have a great day of painting where everything happened to go right. A lot of people look in the art history books, and they go, wow. But think, a lot of artists are only known for one work. There's only one work in the art history book. What have they done the rest of their lives, to keep going?
New York's a very large place. That's one of the main things. It's New York essentially is the center of the universe especially when you talk about art, and it's where everybody comes. Everybody knows what's going on. Everybody's happening. It's an intimidating place.
There are a lot of artists, first off.
It's very daunting to think of how to break into that world and how to get people to notice you and recognize you. And it's a huge undertaking for anybody to come here and anybody to try to make some waves in the giant ocean of an art world.
Because every gallerist we have spoken to has been like, you know what? We show people that we know. They don't just randomly look through some different slides and I want to show them. They want to, as it is with anybody, you want to get to know that person.
We're on a career path that's not smart.
No.
It's not a.
And we're smart people.
It's not a good gamble. We're not playing the numbers correctly or making the safe bets or going into a career field that's got a guaranteed margin of profit for the rest of our lives. From an economic standpoint, this is
dumb.
Probably the worst decision ever.
Yeah.
but there's something about us particularly that we have to do what we're doing because of whatever inside of us makes us go against the smart choice. for whatever reason, we have to do this and we have to continue doing this. You can be an outstanding artist, and if no one ever knows you or knows to talk to you, or you never get the opportunity to invite them to see what you do on a personal level, then you may never be discovered. But not everybody recognizes that chance, or they don't do the things that's necessary to capitalize on their chance. And they may end up living the rest of their life and dying not even knowing that was their chance, because it was something
very small and
small
maybe
or mediocre or,
Yeah.
or they didn't feel like it was worth their efforts or something like that.